Hi students, welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. Today's session will give you an idea about Greek theatre design. Ancient Greek theatres were large open-air structures constructed on the slopes of hills. They consisted of theatron, orchestra and skene. Theatron. Theatron literally means viewing place or seeing place is where the spectators sat. The first seats in Greek theatres were made of wooden bleachers. According to the tradition, the first tragedian, Thespis, performed this plays on wagons with which he travelled, and temporary seats were set up for performances in the agora or the marketplace of Athens. By the end of the 6th century BC, a permanent theatron was set up in the precinct of Dionysius on the south slope of the Athenian Acropolis. By the 4th century BC, the theatre was largely rebuilt in stone and thrones were provided for priests and officials in the front row of the audience. Orchestra or the dancing area. Orchestra or the dancing area was at the center of the theatre. It is believed to have been circular like a threshing floor with a diameter of perhaps 20 meters. But some have argued that it was rectangular. The earliest orchestras were made of hard earth, but in the classical period, some orchestras began to be paved with marble and other materials. In the center of the orchestra, there was often a thymel or altar. Skene or scene building. Skene literally meant tent or hut. In its earliest versions, a skene was probably a temporary wooden structure which later became more elaborate and permanent. It is believed that a scene building was introduced in the 5th century BC. This was used as a changing room for actors and as a sounding board, but also served to represent the palace or house in front of which most plays are set. The skene provided playwrights and performers with greatly expanded possibilities. The number of doors in its facade is disputed, and it is likely that there were in fact 3. Actors and choruses could enter by paths called paradoi or isodoi to the right and left of the skene. There was also access to the roof of the skene from behind, so that actors playing gods and other characters could appear on the roof if needed. There has been much dispute as to the existence of a stage in front of the skene, raising the actors above the floor of the orchestra where the chorus performed. There is evidence for at least 2 mechanical scenic devices. One is exiclima and the other is mechane. Exiclima was a low platform on wheels. It was used to dramatically reveal new scenery. Due to the fact that they were not allowed to show violent acts on stage, the ancient Greeks would paint the outcome of a battle or event on exiclima to show the audience what has happened. Mechane was a kind of crane which could transport an actor through the air to give an effect of flying. In Aristophanes' play The Cloud, the character Socrates hangs over the performing space during some of his dialogue. Much later, a Roman critic called a too obviously contrived ending of a play, in Latin, a deus ex machina or God from the machine. The phrase is used still today to refer to any arbitrary, contrived plot turn in a play, movie, or novel. In the mid-5th century BC, the Odeum or a square-roofed building for musical recitals was built beside the theatre. At the end of the 5th century BC, a rectangular stage building was added with wings on each side. Monumental entrances were also built at the side of the stage for the public to enter. In the 4th century BC, the theatre was rebuilt in stone and walkways made between sections of seats to facilitate access. Stone ramps were also added. Stage scenery or backdrop also came to be made of stone. These theatres had a two-storied skene and a long, narrow, high stage attached to the skene, usually with steps or ramps at the ends, but sometimes with entrances and exits only through the skene. These theatres had an orchestra as well. This type of design became standard in the Hellenistic period, that is in the 3rd and the 2nd centuries, when every town in the Greek world came to have its theatre. That's about the Greek theatre designs. Please do answer the question. Thank you so much for paying attention.